So in every community, one agent can make the bold claim and the bold statement that they are the very first to get a contract in a community. And this one is super special because I can make that statement about this community of Graange here in Katy, Texas. If you've been looking out west for a brand new construction home with some of your heavy hitters and favorite builders on this channel, your Westins, your Newmarks, your Highland Homes, any of those people that you care about, they're here in this community. And I want to showcase all the ones that have shown me love, but specifically as a Highland Homes card carrying holding member, it's only right that I got the first contract in this community with my people at Highland. So we're going to show you that big special model behind us, but we're going to deep dive. We're going to talk about taxes, schools, all the things that y'all care about this brand new community of Graange in Katy, Texas. If that sounds good, stay tuned. First things up, this is over 60 foot, so you're gonna have the double doors. My guy Jason in the background. Start off with the office. Great size, really tall ceilings. French doors, gotta love it. All this stuff is gonna be decorative. This would just be a normal drywall space, but it's always good to see the inspiration and how they build it out. Up next, we got us a guest suite. Enough room for a king, but I would probably stick with a queen in here just to give you enough space to feel like you're spread out, but not too much, nothing too crazy. Upgraded carpet in here, really tall ceilings in here, probably around 11 foot. Good size closet. Really nice. Storage, that's a Texas house thing. You're gonna have a lot of storage. Going into this design media space. Really nice size on this one. Kitted out, looks like we got fan stuff, we got multiple lights. If you were to go to the design center, it looks like they've already shown you that they got speakers, a couple speakers in here. So you can kind of kit it out however you need. I've had clients build it where they put the electrical for the additional like movie sconces throughout. So you can kind of go as crazy as you want if you're gonna be building it. But if you were gonna catch this in an inventory, for example, you would probably just have the standard lighting. You may have some speakers, but on average, it'll probably just be normal little space drywalled out. Oh, Highland. Go another secondary bedroom. Queen or a full will probably max out on this one just how they have the window design. With here, I don't like necessarily putting beds in front of windows. I kind of feel weird about that, so I'd probably, actually, you probably would have to either switch this around and put the bed, yeah, I would have put the bed on that wall, is what I probably would have done to give myself more space. But tall windows, tall ceilings. Follow that through to the closet as well. Also, huge ceilings. Beautiful black hardware to contrast. Highland is one of those builders that typically doesn't paint over your hinges. So if you paid for these hardware upgrades. They'll make sure they take care of you and don't cover them up. Ooh, that's a pretty towel. That's pretty. All right, hold on now. I like that a lot. Super pretty. But yeah, ensuite, perfect for one of your kids, one of your favorite kids. Again, we got more storage. I think this is the model that has the lifestyle suite behind the kitchen. So let's go and check it out and see if that is the case. Before we do that, look at this. Basic wall of windows back here. 2 sliders. It's gonna run you about 30, about 15 each. Tray ceilings is decorative, but you can add that if you wanted to. Double oven, microwave up top. Puck lighting up top. You get these type of hoods once you go over their 60-foot product. Typically 55, they'll usually still have the steel kind of range hood that's a little bit more truncated, kind of stops right there. But you'll get the decorative shroud on here once you go over 60 foot. Cafe 6 burner. So this is an upgraded kitchen for sure. Remember what I told y'all last time, if you start to see furniture legs and things on the cabinets, then it is a upgraded kitchen. And so both islands have little furniture kind of post legs on them, so it is definitely an upgraded kitchen. And that is just a beautiful view. This is just a beautiful view. And I think I was right. I do see that little peekaboo room back there. So we're gonna go, after we check out the rest of this, you get your fireplace on this plan if you want it. Tons of natural light, picture windows on the other walls. Let's go check out this patio, because this looks like a Texas size patio as well. And all these sliders, and what did I use? I used the door. Clown, just out here being a clown. Yes, Texas size patio. This is gonna wrap around to the other side and basically give you 2 outdoor eating spaces / chill spaces. So coming off of your technical, probably family room on this 1 story, you can have a slider coming directly off of that. If you wanted to come off of your dining area off of this 1 story, you can come directly off of that with a slider as well. I think this is beautifully set up how they got it right now with the sliders, because basically this whole back wall is just nothing but glass, and I just love how that looks. Gorgeous. And this is a lot of room, because that's a full-size table right there, full-size couch, just to give you a sense of scale. It's really big. This is a really big area back here. Really, really, really big, really nice. And so one of the things that often kind of comes up when someone builds a big 1 story is sometimes they can feel that this lot isn't going to be big enough. Your lot is basically going to stop at that pink stake right there. And so is there enough for you to come out here and do a small little pool? Yes. But if you know that you're going to want a house that looks like this, that is a 1 story, that is this expansive into your lot, that you're going to want to buy an oversized lot so you can have the depth that you want. If you have those big pool dreams. Or sometimes it can honestly be accomplished with just how they frame the home. I know that I've had a few, just looking at this side yard over here, I've had a few clients that have built with Highland Homes that have had a normal size lot, but with the allowable turn that they were able to do with the house, it gave them a little bit bigger of a back corner, so they were able to squeeze a better design for a pool that they wanted to have in the future. I know I've done that with Highland, I've done it with Coventry before, and I've also done it with Perry a couple times, but more so with Highland, where we've had the ability to kind of shift that foundation on that lot to give you more space in one corner or another to kind of help set up your outdoor experience. But this, I'm a fan. For those of y'all that have been here long enough, you know that I love myself a big old one story, and this is one of those plans that I just, whenever I see a version of this, either the 213, 215, 216, I'd like the 218 as well. Anytime I see a big version of this, I'm always a fan, because this is like my dream home. The Mrs. has the 2-story ceiling dreams, that's all her. Give me a big 1-story with some nice ceilings and I'm good. But beautiful. Let's get back inside this house and check out the rest of it. Let's go check out this lifestyle room back here. Still, that kitchen's crazy. Another thing, so along with designing your home, the cabinetry and stuff is all custom. So it's not like a cookie cutter, this is what your kitchen is gonna be like. You're gonna have the opportunity, like I may have said before, to customize these cabinets. So if you want pullouts, if you want a certain depth on your cabinets to get you pot level depth, you can do that. If you want glass inserts on some, glass inserts on all, you can do that as well. There's a lot of customization that you have within the layout of what you're getting. Step in pantry. You got your mud room off of your laundry. Lifestyle room. This would be clutch, because right now we're having convos on taking a room and making it into a gym in our house. And no, you're good, Jason. It's my guy, Jason. Y'all come through, tell him that Aaron sent you for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, me and the missus are having this same conversation right now. Should we put some flooring here? Should we move stuff upstairs? Do you think we could put a Bowflex? And I'm just having a conversation like, man, this would be clutch if we had the little lifestyle room already and we didn't have to do that. But normally this would be the tandem.
That's the tandem bed garage.
Yeah, so normally this would be a tandem. I'm not sure if Jason's gonna be building these with the flex lifestyle room or keeping it more so as a tandem. I guess time will tell what the people out here are more so wanting. But this is an option if you are gonna build it from the ground up, and this is a cool little space. Back into your closet, you know we ain't walking through there. We gotta get these minutes. And this one is another ensuite. So kind of tucked off in the back off the kitchen. This will be the one that I wanted if I was visiting somebody, so I can sneak in, get my little snack, sneak back in the room. No one knows, just like a thief in the night. Get that late night snack, hide from everybody. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then half bath for your guest. All right, so we haven't checked out the primary on this one yet. So let's make our way through this beautiful home one more time and go check out the primary, and then we'll go and get you all the pricing that you want. Tall ceilings, like I said on previous videos, the bay bump out is a must. This is a pretty nice sized room without it, but normally it would stop about here, right? So you can get a full couch in here, You can get these little chairs that you can set over here, a little coffee morning wake up session that you got in an otherwise beautiful room. But that little bay bump out just makes all the difference to me. And that's one of the one thing that I would probably suggest more times than not to my clients when they're building is to have the bay. And on most of their inventories, they just do them just because they know it just adds that much more square footage to the room. It makes it feel grander. Standalone tub, it's gonna be upgraded, more oversized. You have makeup desk over here, usually a fan favorite when I got families that are building. Someone's usually into makeup and cosmetics. They got their own little station over here. Dual vanity. Got the peekaboo shower in case you wanna peep over there at your partner while they're in the tub. Or if they wanna peep over at you while you're in the shower. Goes both ways. And then the latest thing that's been coming up in my family's home is closet systems. So I like when stuff is just kind of organized like this. I know my wife would love it. The one thing that I don't see in here are the little pull down bars on this system, and that might just be because they don't have it all the way set up, but I love what they've done with this use of space. Tons of storage in here. Me being my 5'6" and 3/4, I'm gonna keep making myself taller every video. I was just 5'6.5" last video. I'm 5'6 and 3/4 this video. Not really functional for me without a step stool, but looks cool, and it definitely will look organized, and this would be more than enough for most people to get all their stuff in. But cool. Now we're going to walk around this beautiful home one more time. We're gonna go look at the price sheet. I believe they're gonna be high sixes to about 760 base. And that's gonna be for one of you guys' favorite plans on here. I believe the 224 is their most expensive, but we're about to go and see right now as we get to the little garage office area to look at their list price. All right, so what we got? Plan 213. About 2,800 square feet, give or take. You can get that base at 621, give or take. And looks like the biggest one that they're building over here is the 224 plan, which a lot of y'all love on the channel. Y'all love the 224 plan. You can get that base at 750, 990. Cool. Not too bad. Let me ask Jason. Jason, what plan is this?
This is a
216. Beautiful.
Base price is $638,990.
Yep.
I have one in inventory.
Okay.
Built very similarly to this one.
Okay.
For $750,000.
All right.
480 soaring spare.
I love it. Love it, love it. Appreciate it, Jason.
Well, good to see you.
Good to see you, brother. And like I said, Jason and I got the first signed contract over here in Graange, so it's a special one for me. I don't know if he's ever had one of those before, but this is my first one, getting the very first.
No, sir.
And and so this is a big deal for me, and I'm gonna be in Graange a lot because of that.
Yep, we're looking forward to it.
Cool.
All right, cool.
All right, appreciate it.
Thanks, sir.
Yep. All right. So I met my guy Jason. Great people. One of the reasons why I just genuinely love Highland Homes is my experience with them in the metro has always been on the up and up. They've never tried to undercut my people. They always give them the best deal they possibly can. And with the relationship that I've built with them over the years, if we need to work something out, if we need to make something happen, we need to get you an extra incentive, we need to get you a little bit more closing costs, with the relationship that I've built with them, That's been something I've been able to accomplish in most communities. And with my guy, Jason, I know that we can make a deal for you, whether you're building or on the inventory side. But the best deals all the time in any metro are going to be on the inventory. So if you don't have the stomach to kind of watch what's going on with the tariffs and all the pricing and all that stuff, and you're not necessarily into a full ground up build, I definitely would encourage you to tell me the kind of models that you want. And if you're looking out here in Graange, for sure say, I like Highland model 224. So let me know whenever something's coming up in inventory. I like the Highland model 216 like we just saw, and let me know so I can keep an eye out on you, because if there's a deal to be had, I'm pretty sure that me and Jason can work it out with Highland. But now we got other builders in here that we got to go check out in this beautiful community of Graange. And one thing I haven't said is that this is exclusive access. This hasn't even opened up as a community yet, because I got one of the first contracts out here in the community. Monica with Johnson Development, that's my girl, shout out to her. She was just like, hey, we're opening up on the 23rd. This is before the 23rd. Go out there, check out anything you gotta check out. I've told all the builders that you're cool. Go get whatever footage you gotta get, do whatever you gotta do, show the house that you gotta show to get some people out to this beautiful community of Graange. And that's what I'm here to do right now. So there's gonna be a little bit of mess in some places. There's gonna be people kind of setting up in other places. There's gonna be people kind of cleaning up and just getting things ready, because it's not, community isn't even open to the general public until like this coming Saturday. So as you'll be seeing this live, that's when the actual model home row will be open. So giving you a sneak peek, super sneak peek. Again, perks of dealing with your boy Aaron, you get stuff like this. So now we're gonna probably go and check out either this Perry. They got a couple models, then they got a beautiful 55-foot Westin model that we're gonna probably go and check out. And then we'll wrap up today with one of you guys' favorite in Newmark to call it a day. All right, so up next, we're checking out this Perry home. This is a 3593 plan. It's similar to, you know, some of the other plans that we've checked out, like 3595. The orientation of stairs and things like that kind of changed, but it's still gonna be a Perry. You're still gonna get beautiful elevations. You're gonna still get these picture windows basically on every wall of this house. Still gonna be grand, gonna be everything that you know and love, that y'all know and love on this channel for Perry. So let's go check it out. Loving the elevation. I'm more of a brick elevation guy. I'm not really the biggest stucco or stone. It's just beautiful. Come in off the front door, you have your beautiful office space. And this looks like it is a true office. I know some of theirs are converted bedrooms, and they'll have like a little closet off of this back door, off this back wall rather. This one, oh, look at that. It's almost like I sell some Perrys. So it looks like they do have a little closet on here, so maybe they can double this down as a little room. Maybe not, that's a little tight, but windows in the closet typically make a bedroom. Then you kind of got your formal / informal dining off of the door as well. And I think this is pretty because you'll also have a breakfast nook next to the kitchen. Just in case this feels a little bit too secluded for you, you'll still have somewhere that you can be. Look at the little butler's pantry area. Beautiful countertops, cabinetry, lots of storage. Bigger pantry. Now this is something that is a pro that I always feel in my clients' homes whenever they're building or whenever they're buying a Perry is, even if this is a more narrow footprint, this feels just wider than many of the other competitors at the same width. Their corridors are usually super big. Their closets are usually super big. Pantries are usually super big. There's just touches in here that you get as a standard feature without really changing things in a Perry that I appreciate. Now, they may not go all out on some of the decorative stuff. This one is, looking like it's modern villain aesthetic. We haven't gotten to the other side, but these floors, crazy. Black trim that I'm seeing, crazy. So let me see, before I talk that, let me see. Let's back up. Give you one more view of the peekaboo rotunda. They went kind of villain aesthetic in here, okay. Good, so I'm gonna try to get light behind y'all so y'all don't see the zebras. Unpaid actors on here, got black cabinets, nice deep soaker sink, 5-burner decorative shroud, and this is the other side of your butler's pantry. Beautiful fireplace. That's going to be an add, of course, to do that. Otherwise, you would probably stop at the mantle, and then it would be drywall all the way up. But if you're going to have a fireplace with ceilings this tall, you better break it up to the top. Beautiful. This would normally be your garage. I believe their standard over here is going to be 3-car tandem, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so this would be 2 cars off of this bay, 1 car off of that bay. If you were on an oversized lot, you would probably be able to get a 3-car side by side in this space. Shit, hell, you might actually be able to do, it might be a 4-car tandem with how this is looking, because this is a space 1, 2, and then some of that. So yeah, this might actually be a 4-car tandem. I'll ask Cleo what they got going over here just to make sure, but tankless water heater is gonna also be standard in this community. Depending on how big the house is, you may need 2. But yeah, super duper nice, man. And it's a little guest bath, so people don't have to go through your bedroom to get somewhere. Go check out upstairs before we go look at the other stuff down here and get into the primary and then upstairs. Another pro of going with Perry over other builders is that they are going to, hands down, have some of the biggest standard patios. Like, this is not an oversized patio. This is going to be a very standard patio, and this is going to be like the same size as some Texas-sized patios. That's just, it's crazy to say that. But again, it's one of those things where there's certain elements of a Perry home that they don't wow you with, but they give you a lot of stuff as standard. And so if you have the budget, I know I just had a whole segment before talking about tariffs and not wanting to build. If you were to build, a lot of the stuff is standard that you get. So like these picture windows, that's gonna be standard. With some builders, you're gonna have to pay for that to be added. But this would be another 15 to 20,000 for some builders to get you something that is this large, where this is gonna be standard on this size of a house. But yeah, if you wanted to go all out and deck it out to have all the finishes and stuff that you want, if you got the design eye, this is gonna give it to you. Nah, you good, bro. I promise. And do your thing. I'm sorry I'm in your way, my man. So go to the secondary. Also, the secondary bedrooms are usually pretty big. So in some of the other bedrooms that we've seen today and even on previous episodes of the channel, it's very rare to get like a nice sized bed and a full couch. This is a secondary bedroom. This isn't a full out primary. This is a secondary bedroom, right? And to get all of this space in that bedroom is pretty cool. Again, nice size closet for a secondary bedroom. This is a really nice size closet. I would consider this a full walk-in, where some of the other builders, they may give you a step-in, right? So there's perks. I believe the standard for them now is 8-foot doors. So with other builders, the standard might be 6-foot doors that you have to pay for the house to be reframed to give you an 8-foot. Over here, this is the standard, right? So that's just more savings on your side. framed in shower, sunken into the foundation, so it was planned. Another upgrade. Got my guy working, get out of his way. And then you come into your bedroom and you got the wall of windows, right? It's just the natural light, it's the windows, it's the size of the windows, it's how low they go to the ground to give you maximum natural light. Now, as someone that gets bullied by our bay windows right now with the light coming in the morning, and it's just like, bruh, cover that up. Oh my God. That is something that you got to just have the budget to have the proper blinds that you need to make sure that you got the coverage that you need. But it's good to know that you didn't have to pay any more for this design. If you are somebody that's just like, I love natural light, I love tall ceilings, then you're getting that in here for the free ski. We're checking this out. All that's going to be decorative. That's all extra. This will normally just be drywalled. You could pick this in your design center if you were building it. Normally, if this is inventory, it's just going to be one of those recessed lights. They're usually not going to give you a chandelier in here. So some of this is design element, but a lot of it is standard. Normally, I think you would have the tiled in tub, so this is probably an upgrade. My sweet, lovely wife would hate that because how am I going to really clean behind there good? You really can't, so I would want this off the wall a little bit. But peekaboo shower. So same as before. If you peekabooing down, or if they're peekabooing up, goes both ways. And then let's see if they have two closets in here. One, that's the toilet. Okay, two. Yeah, they usually have two, and one of the closets is usually better. So the person that has all the shoes or has all the clothes, they usually are like, oh, that's my closet. Happens all the time when I'm touring a Perry. All right. So that was a beautiful first part of this home. I counted 2 beds, 2 beds in an office, informal dining, and a breakfast nook. And yeah, on the first floor. Now let's go check out the second story, see if it keeps the momentum going, because what I'm seeing so far, I'm liking. This is beautiful so far. So it's going up here. And for my friends, you know we gotta do it. We got the peekaboo. Gotta love it. Let me go and we do the peekaboo on this side. Looking over your chandelier. I love how they got that window up top, getting that natural light up high so it's not really dark up here. Super pretty. Going over into your entertainment wing. So you got a full-size game room on this one. Tons of entertainment space. Attic space with a little bit of storage. This is why I don't usually open that door, because there's usually nothing in here but HVAC stuff when I'm on these tours for the people that have asked. People think I'm skipping closets. Nah, it's just a little attic. And this is a humongous movie room. Shout out to the Mrs. Last time we were in a room like this, she called the builder Frederick Douglass instead of Frederick Harris. So we're gonna give her a pass, but she's still getting roasted in our house to this day because of that. We don't let nothing go in our house. But yeah, this is a beautiful, beautiful home. And we got some more to see in here. So, beautiful game room, gigantic movie room. Tons of entertainment space. see if we got some more rooms, which we do. So this is the first wing. And this one seems to be for this little area. So this is a shared bath between this bedroom and the common space out there. So I'm not the hugest fan of that, because this means this has to be like a guest bedroom. This couldn't necessarily just be Chandler's room, because then she would have to share her bathroom with other people, which I wouldn't necessarily love. But if you were building it, I'm sure you could configure this a different way. Maybe to close this in, maybe put another half bath somewhere in this space. Let me go over to this here side. Got a wing to the right. Tall ceilings again throughout. Really pretty. Jack and Jill, you know we ain't walking through, because we gotta do what? Get these minutes. Show you the closet size. So this is gonna be closet size on this side. And go to the other side. And then the natural light in here is just making the zebras just come out in this video, so I apologize. Barry got too much natural lighting here. Another sink. Other side for the Jack and Jill. Not uncommon if you are not building this to have this as a Jack and Jill on the secondaries. It's something that Perry does a lot on their inventory. So if that's something that you're not the hugest fan of, then you may want to consider building the home. But this is a man. We got the rotunda, we got office, media room, game room, dining area. How many beds? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beds. Oversized patio for the free ski. Butler's pantry. This might be one of them ones, man. Beautiful. One more pass. Crazy. All right, so that was beautiful. That was a 3593 plan by Perry Homes. I believe they're on a 60-foot here, so a little bit more narrow than my people over at Highland. Price points are gonna fluctuate and be around the same. Some from that like mid 6s to about 750 is kind of where you would expect to be. And then if you're building, base plan plus about 10%. If you're really doing it and you don't want something that's kind of like super ugly or super basic, plus 10% is what you want to basically expect. So on a house this big, expect to spend $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 on cosmetics to get the flooring that you want, to get the tiles and backsplashes, the countertops, all those things. Make sure that you're allotting for that if you're going to be building. Otherwise, you're going to have a nice solid home in inventory. And like I said all the time, inventory is going to be the way to go. The one thing that I don't think is going to happen here is that you'll have a lot of houses that are sitting. Why? And this is probably the number one pro for this neighborhood. There are a couple builders building out in the Katy area right now. And what I've been seeing on my end is a lot of them were kind of doing the bait and switch, where they were supposed to be Katy ISD and then they ended up being like a Royal ISD or some other school district. This is going to be all Katy ISD, which was one of the hugest selling points for what was happening with Cane Island, which is basically the OG of this community. This is basically like a little brother to Cane Island. Same development, same builders basically moving out here with a couple extra additions that we hopefully can get into today. But yeah, Cane Island Jr., also known as Graange, tied to Katy ISD. I think your property tax rate is going to be somewhere around 3.2, which is about, I think it took Cane Island like 6 or 7 years to get to a 3.2, and out here you're starting at a 3.2. So you're already kind of ahead of the game. Within a couple years, you should probably be under 3. With your homestead, you should be around 3 out the gate. But yeah, just some things to keep in mind as to why I don't think houses are just going to sit out here, because this is going to be one of those communities. that is super luxury by a great developer in a solid location, that there's going to be a lot of uproar when people finally figure out where this place is and who all is over here. I don't think it's gonna struggle to sell. And so if you are one of these people that kind of wants to wait and see what things do for a while, you might find yourself in a situation paying 30 to 50,000 more next year for the same house than you would if you were to do something right now. No pressure, just put it out there. Beautiful school district, beautiful homes. That's usually a good combination to sell out pretty fast in the suburbs. But now let's go and see if my people are in here at Westin, and let me know what you think. All right, now up next we have Westin Homes, and they're on a 55-foot site here. So not gonna be quite as big as the last few that I've shown from Westin. They've typically been 60 to 70 foot wide in the last few communities that I've done. So this is gonna be a little bit more narrow, but it's still gonna give you that same wow factor that you know and come to expect from Westin Homes. So let's go check it out. And this is the Wimberley plan. So we'll check it out. Still. Got a little peekaboo for my peekabooers up there. Nice little office. Pretty nice size. Deontay is going to be the salesperson here. Now this is interesting. Now this is something I got to clarify from them. If you can see there, we got some pricing on some lots. Now that is unique in that most communities for Westin that I have seen, and I got to verify this, most communities that I have seen for Westin have been all inventory. There was a little brief period there where in my neighborhood of Meridiana, my guys over there were able to do full dirt bills. You pick the lot, you pick the plan, you pick all the design, you go design center, you pick all the stuff. We had a very small window, and then they kind of dialed that back. Over here, looking at some of the prices of some of these lots, I'm gonna assume some of these are Lakeview. And so it looks, at least for the time being, and I'll verify this, it looks like you might be able to custom build ground up over here, because most times when I'll see a plot like this showing their lots, you don't see pricing associated with it, meaning that it's basically all going to be cooked into the price of the home. There's not really a place where you can go in here and say, I want lot 404 versus I want lot 424. The prices are different. There's a $30,000 swing between those prices, right? So only time will tell whether or not they end up being all inventory, but for right now, this is something that is interesting, and I'm gonna verify with the builders over here whether or not they are still doing custom builds, because that would be a game changer for a lot of my clients looking at Westin right now. All right. Nice size room. Probably get a queen in here, but as a little guess, queen or full is probably the max that I would do. This one isn't sunken in or recessed, so they just have a pan skid at the bottom. My wife actually prefers that because I think she says it's easier to clean, but a little less expensive to install. Check out the closet in here, see what we're working with closet wise. Ooh, that's a good size closet. Really good size. Your normal dining room area over there. And we got laundry. Looks like that's to your primary. You know we ain't cutting through because we gotta do what? Get the minutes. Shelly over there, super sweet. If you catch her over here, tell her Aaron sent you. This is gonna be your mud room off of your garage. And it looks like their base is Probably be a 3-car tandem. So it looks like she may have actually took some of their garage and made it into office. This is a guest bath, so people don't have to come in your bathroom. I'm always a fan of that. And then you still got that Westin now. It's still Westining. Yes, it is smaller, but it's still doing all the stuff. Beautiful kitchen in here. Decorative shroud even on a 55-footer. I think that is cool. I know a lot of the smaller builders don't typically give you that in their kitchens without super overpaying. Hello. Villain aesthetic, man. Westin been hitting me with that villain aesthetic and how they've laid. I like how they lay these tiles. What? Beautiful. So you got your dining nook over here, informal. We'll go out, check out this back porch area. And again, so similar to the height of the Jackson plan that I just saw at the other Johnson development out there in Creston and Magnolia, we have another 2-story. This one isn't as expansive, but still pretty cool to have this kind of verticality. Now, as an inventory home, you would have to push this out. We gotta go to at least here. We gotta do a gazebo. We're gonna have to do something to give us some more space than that, because that's not quite enough. But I love that the bones of this is that tall and that looks that cool. Looks like they're giving you a gas spigot, and that's gonna be your water for back there. I'm loving this color combo. This is beautiful. Alcove lighting up top, stunning.
Okay, sure. And this one is, which one is 4? Yeah, 4. Yeah, so you need that.
Beautiful. So it's going to the primary. Tray ceilings. Nice windows, pretty large size, king size with oversized nightstands, and you can still got a lot of room. Still got room for a bench. Really nice full furniture. I'm really a fan. Westin's been like coming back with it. So there was a point in time where you couldn't tell me that I wasn't gonna get a Westin. And then Highland kind of snuck in that trap and showed me some things that kind of got me outside of my city living life. And I've been stuck on Highland ever since. But this last, I'll say 6 months, Westin has been on a run that has just been like, is the next house gonna be a Westin? Like, are we gonna catch one of them slipping one of these days? Because they've been giving us all the spaces that my little family would need. Media room, little flex spaces here and there. Nice sized game room for our homeschooling Chandler and all the things that we do in our life. So it's been a really great family home. And for my people that are coming from other places and wanting the rotunda and wanting that big family home feel, Westin is one of the best to do it in Houston in my experience. The biggest drawback as of late is that you just can't customize it, usually. But we will verify that for here. I know that I've had some builders or some buyers be able to catch it early enough to make some slight changes, but the vast majority has just been catching a good deal on strictly all inventory. So we'll verify that, but let's get back into this beautiful home. Beautiful. This is gorgeous. Villain aesthetic. I'm loving this with this. Just the pale wood look with this tile. Oh my goodness. Standalone tub. Me and my wife are looking for this tile for a backsplash. So I'm about to ask them what this is. I'm about to ask them what this is, get a price on it so I can tell Rissa, go do something else. Go do something safe. But yeah, that's beautiful. I'm loving that. The texture of that. Beautiful. Hopefully I can do this justice with the zebras. Again, zebras are unpaid actors. Now this is a little unique. I ain't never seen a shape like this in a bathroom. This one gives us a lot of space though. I feel the least claustrophobic that I probably have in a bathroom that is this size. And then we got a closet. This is the side that loops over to the laundry that we looked at a little bit earlier. And then it looked like you had one more little section over here, which is a lot of closet space. This is nice. Really, really nice. All right, so now we're gonna walk through this big, beautiful house one more time and go upstairs to see if part 2 of the upstairs is doing it. Classic Western Rotunda. I'm loving the color contrast in here. It's beautiful. For my peekaboo friends. Peekaboo off your front door. Loving the natural light that comes in this high. Lightens the whole space up. Real peekaboo for all my peekaboo lovers. I just love that. Now, I know I say this all the time and I'm a one-story lover, but God, whenever I just see one of these houses that just give me the windows like this, I see why my wife just simps out over it. I see it. I see it. Beautiful. Just to have that be something that you can wake up to. Beautiful. All right, let's get back into the house. So we got a full game room. All this stuff is gonna be decorative, so ignore that, but look at the space. Really nice size. And then media space now. Y'all know I hate this, where the windows are in the media space, but that means that this could probably be another bedroom instead of a media room. If you didn't quite need that, they probably could configure this a few different ways. With the alcove lighting, that's dope. That's dope. I'm loving it. All right, so we had 2 beds down. Let's see if we got 2 more up here. I would imagine that's the case. Yep. So we got this one. Pretty nice size. King, full nightstands on side. Here's your closet. Jack and Jill style. You know we ain't walking through because we gotta do what? Get these minutes. Other side of the Jack and Jill. Man, I'm loving that towel. It's beautiful. And it's your 4th bedroom. I would imagine that this is attic space. Yep, again. Why I don't necessarily be opening these upstairs doors sometimes for the people that ask. It's usually attics. And this is your closet. Man. I'm a fan. I'm liking what this one did. All right, so we just left out of that beautiful Westin Home, I believe that was the Wheelberry plan. All of their plans over here right now are basically somewhere between 660 and 700,000. I don't think anything got up to actually touch 700. It was basically like 658 to around 685 was the highest that I saw. So great pricing. You're gonna get over 3,000 square feet, get all the things that you love about a Westin home. I'm a fan. I'm a fan all day and night. I'm a fan. But we got a couple more in here that I'm hoping to get on film. I'm hoping they're unlocked. I know a couple of them were still staging and still doing all the stuff. I'm gonna try to catch them before, just because again, I want y'all to be the first people to see it. And let me see if I can get in here to do it for you. Drees. Now, y'all love y'all some Drees on this channel. Drees is a custom home builder. They're in my neighborhood of Meridiana. They were in Fulshire Lakes that me and the family just went and checked out a few weeks ago. So if you haven't seen that one, go back, check that one out as well. But it looks like they're bringing that same custom love to a smaller footprint. So I've never seen a Drees that was in the 50s. So I'm excited to see what this looks like, and I'm loving what I'm seeing so far. I'm a fan so far, y'all. So it looks like we had an office, and we have a full bed and bath off the front door. Really tall ceilings on the first floor. Hey, how you doing, man? Half bath. Got your mudroom space. This would normally be your garage. And it looks like they are set up for maybe a 3-car tandem on this one. Got your laundry space. And this opens up beautifully. Beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful. Love how that's framed. Man. So I just got a Drees in Meridiana not too long ago, and I would love to get me one up out here. And I think at this size, I think this is gonna bring custom home building to a more affordable place for many, many more people. So I'm a fan. It's gonna be interesting to see how they stack up against some of the other builders, like a Westin and those that are gonna come with a more inventory package, probably already set up. But man. So waterfall on the island, beautiful kitchen, decorative shroud. Again, this is something that you usually see on products that are 60 foot plus and wider. Usually when you get to the 50-foot stuff, is usually much more narrow, much more dialed down, so you'll get the range hood, but it won't be decorative. Beautiful. Sliders on the back, picture windows, peekaboo windows up top. Really nice size. Pantry for home this size. Little wet bar, double ovens, puck lighting up top. You got your fireplace. Now it's hot as hell 93% of the time here, so I don't know why you would want a fireplace in Texas, but for the people that want them, you can get them. like they're out here doing landscaping. This would be extra. This would be your standard patio on this one. On a not so oversized lot. So just to kind of give you an idea of what home site styles are going to be like when they're not oversized. That pink stake is going to be where your land stops. This is a nice size. You'll still be able to have full grill over there, table over here, tons of space on this one. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I'm already a fan of Drees. Remember when I saw my first one in Meridiana all those years ago, a couple model homes ago, and I was like, man, I gotta get me a Drees one of these days. And then I found out what stuff was costing, y'all. We had to make some adjustments. We had to make some adjustments for the time being. We'll get back to it though. But beautiful. I love when the tile is most of the walls in here. I just like that look. Some people can say that it feels a little bit hotel-y, but I actually like that. Feels more spa-like to me. Got a vanity on this side, split vanity on this side. With them being a custom builder, if your developer will allow it in your neighborhood, then they will do it if you are willing to pay for it. So if you're willing to pay for the changes, if you're willing to pay for any of the stuff that you're asking for, they'll do it. And that's one of the benefits of going custom. But there's a lot of storage in here. I like the systems in here. I'm a fan. But they're one of those builders that has some plans that you can work with. And let's say if you were looking at this and you were like, I want my back wall over here to bay out a certain way, or I want these ceilings to do a vault as opposed to this flat. That stuff can be accomplished if you're willing to pay for the redraw and you're willing to pay for the material change. That kind of thing can happen fairly easily with a builder like Drees. Man, I'll do one more little scan through here. And we're gonna go check out upstairs. Let's see what y'all think about up there. This is gorgeous though. Man, this is gorgeous. Hopefully me and my guy Andrew can get us one together over here. The process that I have had with them was super smooth, so. Go up here, we got a full game room. Plenty of room to entertain. Stereotypical pool table. Full media room, true media room. Beautiful. For the peekaboo lovers, you got baby peekaboo. You got a really nice size bedroom, secondary upstairs. A really generous closet for a house this size. Jack and Jill. No, we ain't walking through because we got to do what? Get these minutes. Ceiling height in here, super nice. Other side of the Jack and Jill. shared tub. And then another pretty good size closet. Got one more wing. There's another beautifully sized bedroom. So this house is low-key perfect for my little family. Because we are currently short like one space in our house. Where we have like a defined movie room or defined office. So we're kind of down like 1.5 spaces. Yeah. Super duper nice. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so let's go check out some pricing that they have going on right now for inventory. So it looks like they are ranging from inventory stuff they got right now, $589 all the way on up to $750. So you can get up to around the price point of what we were looking at next door, but you can come in well under them if you don't need quite all that space. Let's do it. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. So yeah, that was Drees. Like I said, I'm a fan of Drees. They're a custom home builder. So if there's something about that plan that you don't like, you can always change it. You have that prerogative with a custom home builder. Their process for custom home building is a little bit different in that they're not going to take a big hefty deposit from you up front. They're more so going to lean into you doing like a earnest money deposit and then a 50% deposit at the design center, where some of the other custom builders in Houston are going to want to take like 10% up front, and then they're going to want a big 50% deposit once you've kind of already gotten going. So that's the difference between them and other custom builders, but we got more to see. So now we have one of you guys' favorite builders. I think this is going to be the one that we use to close out the day. We have Newmark Homes, and this is going to be on a 50-ish, between 45 and 50 foot product. It's looking like a 50 footer just because they're giving me the 3 garage bays over here, but we'll verify that for you once we get in there. But this is going to be on the smaller side of them, but they still give that same Frederick Harris, or as my wife said, Frederick Douglass love of having the roots of being an old custom builder here in Houston. They don't do a ton of high volume. They're not usually one of the builders that's going to have 1,000 lots in the community. They're usually going to have 50 to 75 and be super special, and it's going to be the ones that look the most unique. Usually it's going to be the ones that have some of the highest design most often. And so we're going to see if this model home does that on a smaller footprint compared to some of the bigger ones that we've looked at today. Let's go check out this Newmark. So before we get into this beautiful home, you've been watching this video for over 30 minutes. And I still haven't got a call, I haven't got a text, I haven't got a carrier pigeon, nothing like that. We've been looking at some of these beautiful model homes. We've been talking to some of the salespeople, and I haven't heard from you yet, and that's honestly breaking my heart. And I want to change that. I want to know how I can be your agent, how I can be your resource, and how I can help you get into the home that you are looking to get into this year. But in order for me to do that, you have to call, text, email, hit me up, carrier pigeon, send me a friend request, send me an IG message, DM me, whatever you got to do to get in touch with me. I want to be that resource to you. I've worked with, at this point, I've literally closed homes this year with all of the builders on this row. Okay? All the builders on this row, I've closed a home with them this year. And not many people can say that. Okay? Also, not many people can say, and no one can say for this community, that they got the first contract in this community. So who's gonna know it the best? Who's gonna see it grow up from literally the first home to the end like I did? No one. Okay, so that's not to toot my own horn. In this model itself, I had Susan. In the first model, I had Jason. In the Perry model, I had Cleo. I've had people pretty much in every model that that I've worked with personally in the past. And so if you're looking for a deal, whether that's on inventory, whether you're looking to build and you need a little bit more sauce, the only way I can help you is if you put my name down when you're going tour, because a lot of y'all like to go on tour by yourself. I understand. No judgment, no shade, no tea. Go and do that, but make sure that you put my name down. Or if you call me beforehand and say, hey, I'm going to see Newmark. Hey, I'm going to see Highland. Hey, I'm going to see Pear. Whoever you're going to see, put my name down. Or give me a call and say, hey, grease the wheels before I head out there so they can know what we're trying to do and know what we're trying to accomplish before we go out there and we waste a bunch of time. The only way I can do that is if you put my name down or if you hit me up. Enough of that yapping, let's hop back into the video. Super pretty. So off the front door, we have this secondary bedroom, nice tall ceilings. Okay. Full bath off the front door. I love this curved staircase off here. I'm excited to go see what they got up there. Got your laundry off the front door. Mud room. This will be coming off of your garage that's currently set up as your office. And then you got that A-frame that Newmark does that just sets them apart in the metro. Just beautiful. Love when they do that. Just the angles that they give you. And then they're always going to give you this. They're always going to give you high design cabinets pretty much to the top. Pot fillers. They're one of the few builders that'll still do pot fillers here in the Houston metro. Nice appliances. Nice cabinet package. Waterfalls. I've seen them do waterfalls on their inventory. Custom cabinetry. They're going to do that as well, right? So tons of thoughtful things with a Newmark. Sold a few Newmark. Sold a few. And as they have the DNA, as I said earlier, of the Frederick Harris, the being an old custom builder here, they're not going to tell you no. If you're willing to pay for it, you're willing to pay for the drawing change, and it can be done. They are the most customizable production builder in the Houston metro. But you got to be willing to pay for a redraw, and you got to be willing to pay for the change, and they'll do it. So if you want your ceilings to do something different, they'll do it. You want a room to be a little bit bigger, if it's allowable on your lot, they'll do it. You'll get away with some stuff if you're willing to do it. And you're willing to pay for it, rather. But just the view, I love how this is framed out. Reasons it's making me believe that this is a 50-footer is because this is just kind of floating in the middle of nowhere on this plan. And that's kind of how it is in our house currently in Meridiana. Decent sized little back patio, nothing too crazy. But if you wanted to oversize this, you could. If you wanted to take it all the way down there, you could. But again, you gotta be willing to pay for it. Willing to do it. But yeah, this is the view that usually gets people when they first come in and start seeing the Newmarks. Head on over into your primary suite. Pretty nice size. over into here. Loving the bath. You have a split dual vanity. Tiles all the way up to the top. Unique tiles throughout. Again, they're gonna give you high design, and even in their inventories are usually some of the prettiest. Now they usually pick some weird colors for the exterior, I will say that. But on the interior, not many people are gonna really hang with Newmark when it comes to their interiors on inventory. But if you got a budget, you can of course go as crazy as you want with any builder if you got a budget. So one more time. Down here, beautiful. All right. Let's check out upstairs, see what we got. So we got 2 beds down. Laundry, 3-car bay. You could probably get rid of one of those bays for a study or for a media space, if I had to guess. For the peekaboo lovers, baby peekaboo. Oh, they got a media space. You ain't gotta do it, and it's a nice size. All right, let me gather myself. I start losing myself, my bad. Man, like I've been somewhere before. Okay, so you got a media space up here. You got a media space. Nice. Really, really, really nice. Didn't expect that. You have a game room, loft area. Another solid sized room. With a good closet. Shared bath, not Jack and Jill, but shared bath between these 2 bathrooms, or between these 2 bedrooms. And then we have another nice size little bedroom. So of the customizations that I would probably do in this home, it would probably be to give these bedrooms their own bathrooms. And with this being a media space and game room area, I'd probably have a half bath somewhere up here. How we would fit that in, I don't know. But those are the things that I would do in this home. But that is Graange for you. The only 2 people that I didn't show today were, I believe, David Weekley and Chesmar. Chesmar, they were still working on the house. And David Weekley, they have some people in there kind of setting up. Today, I ain't want to be in the way, but we got Katy ISD. We're in Katy, probably one of the most well-known communities in all of Houston. We got luxury builders at a super affordable price rate, tied to great schools, at a tax rate that is under the norm for many of these kind of communities, under the umbrella of one of the best developers in all of Houston. That is a recipe for nothing but success. I got the first one out here, but I'm hoping to get a few more, and I'm ready to know, are you ready to go tour?